G'day, Too Toasted here. Welcome back to another episode of Repair or Despair. In this video we're going to be looking at this Play It Loud original Game Boy, the black one. It's in fair condition. Alright, I'll get rid of that hair. It's a little bit worn with the printing. A and B, start and select, pretty much gone. It's a bit grubby. Screw holes and whatnot. You can see in this battery clip there's some gunk in there. Battery terminals themselves look pretty good, which is a nice change. Usually these are corroded to hell. Obviously missing the screen lens cover thing. It's not really a lens, but whatever. I've picked this up from Japan. From Sendico, which is a proxy website where you can buy things from Yahoo Auctions Japan, and the listing there, which I can't really show you, says that it doesn't power on, it doesn't turn on. So let's check that while we're here. Batteries. Batteries in. No power. There's maybe a switch issue. These switches can be a bit temperamental. Do the old battery roll. Nothing going on there. I'll leave that off. Actually, what I do have is a rechargeable battery pack for the original Game Boy here. This is a hefty little beast here. This is actually one released in Australia. 240 volt, and this plugs into the side here. You can see it says on the side of the Game Boy. Let's see if it works from this. Ooh, interesting. Speaker works. So, works from, what is DC in? Yeah, DC works from the port, but not from the batteries. Yep, consistently. No lines on the screen, so that's good. Okay, so let's get a nice blue mat out and open it up and see why it's not working from the batteries. Now, despite having this kit here of screwdrivers for Game Boys, I actually don't mind using these two screwdrivers that I got with the kit ones. This is the Phillips or Crosshead 2.0, and this is a TriStar, whatever you call it, Y-head 1.5. I like these because they've got the swivelly top on them. So typical Game Boy, 6 screws at the back. We'll get those out of the way. Alright, that's those out, and you can really see some of the dust here on some of those screws. So we'll clean those up at the end before we put them back in. Now, I'm just going to flip this up because the Game Boy is attached for the two halves for this ribbon cable, and we'll just gently pull that out. Have a nice look what's going on. I don't think anything with this front half is the problem, so I'm just going to put that to the side. Now I'll just pop out these two Phillips head screws here so we can get this board out, as well as these two down here actually. Alright, with those out, let's have a look at this board. So apart from someone's grey pube, the switch is pretty filthy. That could be the switch. or could be this dust bunny. No, I think this is the DC conversion, so it could be something on here as well. Battery terminals look absolutely fine, so let's let's go with the switch and see what it does. I'll get out IPA. This is actually 100% IPA according to the bottle I've got. Not 99% or anything, but 100, so that's interesting. I'm just gonna spray some in there. Let it vigorous. I might spray some in there while it's at the other end. Oh yeah. If that doesn't work, we'll see what else is going on here. Be one of these caps. But let's get it back in the board. Back in the plastic. Right, so it's I've got it back in there. It's just sitting in there at the moment. Battery's in there. I don't really think this is going to work because the switch turns it on from when it's plugged in, but have a look and no, still nothing. So let's see what we've got going on. I might get the beeping device out and see if any of these caps seem like they're reading poorly. So I think I'll use a ground. Should be a ground. That one had life in it. Ooh, okay. Surely that should be reading negative. Ground. No. Tell you what I'll do. I'm going to open up another one. Get another board out just so we can cross-reference so I'm not kind of stabbing in the dark here. Alright, so I've grabbed another board out of another one I've got for a future video. Slightly different version. This is revision 2, where the one we're working on is revision 7. You can see they really skimped down and moved on to blob chips instead of actual chips and whatnot, but for the most part they are the same layout. So yeah, pretty much the same except for those blob chips. So I should be able to test to see if there's anything particularly different going on. So the first thing I want to see is if these legs here go to ground or not. No, they don't. Okay, so that would have been a wild goose chase. Now another thing I had was straight short through here. Yes. So let's check this one, see if that also does that. It does. Okay. Alright, so after some light probing, one thing I noticed is that on this board, faulty board here, we've got resistance between the negative and the power switch leg here, which is a positive power leg. Positive power leg. Sure, we'll go with that. And on this board, we don't have resistance. So I can't 100% confirm that that isn't meant to be the case since these are different board revisions, but feel like shouldn't have resistance there. What I'm going to do is dig around in this jack to make sure that the DC jack isn't the actual fault. I know it works, but it could be something in there blocking it open. Failing that, I will swap over the DC conversion boards. Even though they're a little bit different, they should do the same thing. And then, barring that, I will start looking at recapping and even potentially swapping the power switches, just in case this one is faulty still, and it's switching on the DC connection, but it's not switching on from the batteries. I don't know if it's a thing, but hey, we're learning. So yeah, let's clean out this jack here. Probably give it the old IPA treatment as well as something pointy. I'll go off these pliers here. So I'm just going to spray in here. I'm just going to do it off really flooded. So I just flooded it a bit off to the side so I didn't get IPA everywhere. Dig around in there, make sure there's no crud. I even get the jack itself. Just go in and out. Oh, missed the hole. What she said, in and out. Dry this up with the old rag, just to be neat. Alright, I'm going to magically put this in again and back in the plastic in the casing and see if it's working now. Alright, so here we are again, back in the case, not screwed up, but battery's in there, so let's see how we go now. Hey, easy peasy. Every time. So, there must have just been some gunk or something happening with the DC jack. But, you know, it was helpful getting this board out here and seeing that there was resistance, which before I put this back together, I'm going to give it a clean out and I'm going to see if it still has resistance. So that'll be interesting to see if that was the case or if it was just, you know, a bit of a fluke that it happened to be the jack and the resistance was unrelated. But yeah, probably something I could have done before, you know, probing around for 10 minutes, but it is what it is. We got here in the end. So I'm going to get it back open and clean out, and I'll show you if there's still resistance or not, and then we'll get to the more of a refurb clean stage. We'll wrap this video up. So just quickly to show you here, this was the faulty board, and if I now go from the positive battery terminal to the positive power leg, I believe I called it earlier, we now have a direct short continuity as we did on the test board here. So it was definitely worth probing around because that led us to the jack, and I kind of traced it back from this leg, which goes down to here on the trace, and that point there is this resistor, diode, whatever that is, let me know in the comments, which the other leg goes down to here, which then you can see the trace, nice big fat traces on this old Game Boy, goes up there, continues down and down to the DC jack here. So that's what led to the DC jack and cleaning that out, which is a simple fix, not really fixing anything, but it didn't work and now it does, so I guess it is fixing something. I'm gonna go ahead and open up this and clean all that out. Now to give all these bits a nice scrub-a-dub-dub in the bath, because as you can see, they're absolutely filth rat. Alright, so we've got all our plastics and silicons cleaned up nicely. Just gonna clean these, clean the board and the speaker as we put it back in. Just gonna give this a spray, and then hit the board with a toothbrush here. Let's give that a little scrape. Don't want to be too rough. And the excess that's on the screen here, give that a nice now with these button contacts, squeaky squeak. Still a bit filthy. Looking much better, not perfect, but much better. Blow that dust bunny away, it's come back for more. I'm just going to turn that over. This is still damp a little bit, just mainly to get the dust off. Pretty clean. Beautiful. Let's get this half of the board reassembled. So we'll pop all our buttons back in. So, scoot our speaker in first, pop all that down. Alright, and then I'm going to pop these six, no, there's way more in this half. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 screws in this half of the board, and then we'll keep going with the rest. Alright, I'm going to throw those bloody screws in. We'll put this half of the board to the side, grab this half out. Got to put some battery contacts in and the cartridge shield. So we want the spring side to go towards the negative, and this one goes in there, so I think the little clips go towards the bottom. Alright, they're in, and now this battery shield, I'm just going to a little wipe down. And it goes that way, got 4 screws holding this in as well. Just pop those in now. Alright, that's what that metal bit's back in this half. I'm just going to pop in the button slider. Get all that ready. Get our board out and just give it a once over with some IPA real quick. And the toothbrush. Remove any dirt. Try not to go over that printed number. Hit the cartridge slot while I'm here. Yes, hopefully it plays games now. Alright, it's looking good. Put this in. Like that. Alright, with the board in there, it's just two screws here and 2 screws up there again. I'll pop those in. Now I'm just going to wrestle with this ribbon cable back in here, which is always fun. Alright, wasn't too bad. Make sure that's folded down and bend in the middle, not going in weird funny directions. Alright, it's ready. I'm just going to pop that up there again. I'm going to put some screws in it. Some of these were dirty, weren't they? So it's just now I'll put these in there, and the screws are back in. Magic. So let's pop the batteries in. Put it back on. Give the screen the last little touch up. I do apologize, I saw my camera was slightly falling to an angle, which is annoying. I need to get a better setup, but you know. And let's check on this bad boy. I didn't bother cleaning all the old adhesive that much because you can't see it and it's a real pain to get off and just a waste of time really. So beautiful. Oh yeah. Today's test game of choice, Kirby's Dream Land. Oh, there's my contrast. Alright, give that another go. Push that in properly probably helps. No, that's even more going. Okay. That could be the game. I haven't played this one before. Put some IPA in there. Bingo. Alright. Well, it works. Sometimes confidence pays off, and get these all out. Just give it a finishing touch here with some protectant stuff. Car polish. So have a bloody look at that. So much better than we started with. There's a couple of spots that didn't come off, and you know, it still isn't 100% with the print, but I think it looks really good, and you know, it works now with batteries and with the DC plug. So all in all, thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video, and subscribe for more fixins for video game and electronic stuff. Take it easy.